guys, welcome back to Midnight Violets and my 30-week pregnancy update with twins. I just wanted to mention at the beginning of this update that I do actually show you a belly shot from the side and from the front right at the end of the video. I have actually been doing that all along, but because it's right at the end I don't know if you all see it. So just to let you know, that is there and that has will always be there if you want to see how big my belly is getting, because it's getting rather ginormous. As for my symptoms, again, I think they've really just stayed the same. I'm just tired, I ache, my hips hurt, standard kind of pregnancy things. I've been getting a bit of tightness and pain in my hands, especially at night. I think it's carpal tunnel, but I need to speak to my midwife. If you're wondering about the makeup, this is a Christmas tutorial that I've just filmed that will be up on Friday, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch that. But it'll be up on Friday for you. In my last update, I promised you guys that I would go over my ideal birth. It's probably the best way to put it, because I'm realistic. I know that it's probably not going to happen the way I want it, and I need to be open to that. Otherwise, I'm just going to stress myself out when it gets to that time, and I'll just be unhappy with how everything went. So I'm trying to be in the mindset that in an ideal world, this is what I want, but in reality, if I can have as much of that as possible, then that is good. Especially being pregnant with twins, I feel like there's a lot of pressures on you for certain things. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to have a cesarean, and I feel like they kind of mention induction a lot more than they would if you were having one baby. And to be honest with you, neither of those things sound particularly appealing to me. I really don't want to have a cesarean. Obviously, if it's an emergency and I have to have one, then of course I will have one. I know that it would be stupid to turn one down if the doctors are telling me that I need to have one for the baby's sake. If there's things I can do to avoid that, then I'm all for that. I've been told that I can only have a normal birth if baby one is head down. A couple of my midwives, because as I said I keep seeing different ones, a couple of them have told me that they both need to be head down for me to have a normal birth. So I think I need to speak to the hospital a bit more about that and see what they would say, because at the end of the day they're the ones that are going to be making that decision, not my midwife at the doctor's surgery. But hopefully they'll just go with baby one being head down, because there's more chance of that than both, really. Statistics and maths and all that. I'm also not that keen on having an epidural. Now, I'm not saying I want to go for a natural birth and use no pain medication at all. I think I probably will, but I really am put off by an epidural. I don't really want to go into it too much, but I've read a lot of information about it. Obviously, I've read the pros and the cons, and for me, I think the cons outweigh the pros. But as I said, if I'm in full-blown labour and I just cannot cope, then I've said to my husband, don't stop me from having it if I'm telling you that I want it, even though I'm saying now I don't. But everyone's entitled to change their mind, but I do want to try my best to not have one. Obviously, I'm not an expert in any of these things. These are just like my thoughts and my opinions. To try and prepare for birth, I have bought myself a couple of things. Now, I don't think you have to go and buy things to be prepared for birth. Obviously, you have to have your hospital bag packed. I'm hoping that these will help towards my goal of not having an epidural, and probably won't make a difference with the cesarean, because that's probably a completely different issue, but hopefully they'll help with not needing to have an epidural. So I bought myself a birthing ball so that I can sort of bounce on it, so I can stay upright, so gravity can help pull the baby down. And I have been sitting on it now at the moment, and I found it's kind of helped improve my posture and make me a little bit more comfortable sat at home. I actually went online and I bought a specific birthing ball, because I'd read some reviews online about people using gym balls and that they'd burst and fallen off, and I don't really want that whilst in labour or pregnant. It doesn't really sound great to me. So I bought like a tough one, and I also bought a slightly smaller size, not really small, just I think it's like 5 centimetres diameter smaller, just because I'm really small. So I thought it would give me the better posture. Was it you're supposed to sit with your hips and whatever level, so I bought a slightly smaller one so that I could do that. I've also bought myself a hypnobirthing book. I would show you, but it's actually in my car, which my husband has driven with him to work today, but I'll put it in the box down below what the book is and who it's by and where you can get it from and whatever. And I'm not planning on having a hypnobirth because, to be brutally honest with you, I don't think I'm really capable of that, especially now at 30 weeks with the amount of time that I've got left of getting myself in the mindset. But I'm hoping that I can pick up some techniques from it and some information from it, and that can help. I haven't read the whole thing yet, I'm kind of slowly working my way through it, but so far I've found that it's been really informative and I'm enjoying it. So as I just said, my husband's at work, so you may be wondering why I'm not at work, and that's because I've actually started my maternity leave now. I've started really early, I know. I was just struggling. I work quite long hours and I have an hour's commute to get to work and an hour's commute back, which involves standing at cold bus stops and standing on buses, and I just really wasn't coping with it very well. And with the run up to Christmas as well, I thought I'm just going to give myself a couple of weeks off before Christmas, have Christmas off, and then I guess baby any time after that really. Who knows when they're going to arrive. Hopefully after Christmas though. I think it's hard with a twin pregnancy to know when to leave work. When I was thinking that I just was having one, I was planning on leaving work at about 37, 38 weeks. I was planning on leaving it quite late, in all honesty. But because there's two, I'm just so tired, and I'm really aware that I don't want to stress my body out too much because I want the babies to stay in there and grow as big as they can before they come into the real world. Anyway, that's it for this update. I don't think I've really got anything else to say. If you want to keep up to date with these updates though, don't forget to subscribe down below so you can see how I'm getting on with my pregnancy. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye!